Hello everybody and welcome to Training Tuesday at Alex Elite Golf. Before we get into today's video, I want to ask you a question. How many times do you practice in a week? We've got different ends of the spectrum. People may practice a lot, people may not practice at all. And with that, I want you to add to how many times you practice a week to if you think it has any benefit to your golf game. Do you actually see any improvements? Because for me, today's video is all about Training Tuesday, getting you playing better golf out on the golf course. And very often, a lot of people that practice don't actually get better. I'm just going to hit one away. Doesn't resemble anything to like I do on the first tee. Picture the shot. If you think about it here, the analogy that I use is the driving range syndrome. So we get to our 49th golf ball, we've hit our 49th golf ball, and we get to the 50th ball of our 50 golf ball session, and we've now got nerves. We've now got anxiety over this shot. We can't hit it, we get worried, we get this anxiety where it means everything. If we hit a good one, we finish with a good session. If we hit a bad one, the session's ruined. We take nothing out of it. So is that really preparing us for the golf course? Okay, so let's explore this idea a little bit further. So if we think about all the sports, we actually train for football, we actually train for cricket, train for tennis. We don't practice, do we? We actually do things that are actually in a real game environment, whereas golfers, we don't tend to work on that game environment until we get out on the golf course. So without further ado, in our session here, I'm just going to hit one away. Oh, that was a nice shot, that. Yeah, good. Next one away. That doesn't resemble anything to like I do on the first tee, anything to what I do on the golf course. So on the golf course, we've got decisions to make, we've got shots to pick, we've got clubs to pick, we've got the elements to take into account. Whereas we don't tend to do that in our session. We tend to hit a golf ball, pull another one, and we've always got a second chance until we get to that last ball. So what I'm saying here is at the end of every one of your sessions, can we play the worst hole you've ever played? I don't mean worst in the worst golf course. I mean the worst is in the hardest golf hole at your course. Because that's going to be one that's probably going to give you trouble, that's one that's going to you play badly every single time. So we can start to play that, whether it's par 4, par 5, par 3, and start to go through our full routine on it. We're starting to make a situation which very, very closely resembles what happens on the golf course. So as soon as we start to resemble what happens out there, we're then starting to train for golf, not just stood here in a closed environment, hit it, oh that wasn't great, pull another one, hit it, oh that was a bit better, and we don't really know what we're doing. We don't really know if we're improving because we're not actually training. Okay, so I'm going to pick a par 4 here at Stockport. It's a relatively short one. 7th hole, tree lined out of bounds on the right, tree line on the left. It's very narrow. It's a 4-iron layup to a wedge second shot. So I'm going to go through my full routine. Unlike the first one I hit, first swing, picture the shot, ask myself a good question, what shot do I see? Be really focused on my intention, hit it down the fairway. Nice little chippy draw, left half the fairway, safely down there. So straight away I had clear intention, I was performing a shot, and I was probably more engaged in the shot than I was what was happening in my swing, because again these are things where if we're practicing in a closed environment, we very, very tend to be bothered about what our swing looks like, how many times we take videos, is that better, is this better? Whereas actually, do we do that on the golf course? So finishing your session on something that you're going to train is vitally, and I mean this, really vitally important. So if you've not answered that question I asked at the start, how many times do you practice? I want you to do it now. Remember, how many times do you practice, and do you think it's worthwhile? I hope you can answer that question again or add to your comment and say, I can apply this to my golf game, because applying this to your game is going to be super, super valuable, because we're starting to train, we're starting to emulate what happens on the golf course, and anytime we can do that, we're actually going to start to see some improvements. And for me here, I'm really answering the reasons why we don't tend to get better through practice, because we don't do the right things. Okay, second shot in here, 110 yards usually, roughly around that figure. I've picked a shot, so that's what I do on the course. I've picked a club, which is what I do on the course. Picture the shot, take the elements into account. This flag on the right here is exactly that number. Play it away. fade a little bit, fade. Nice shot, that'll hit the green. And when you go down the driving range, there tends to be a lot of targets, especially you can make a fairway for a driver shot, you can pick a green on the left for a short shot, and there's probably a flag roughly around the number that you're going to hit that shot, whether it be 150, 165, whatever that might be. Play that shot out, play that hole out, go through your full routine, start to train for golf, not practice golf, because there are elements, and I'm not writing off the fact that we do need to actually sometimes improve our swing, but why not finish that session actually training for the golf course, because that's where it matters. Thank you for watching Training Tuesday on Alex Elliott Golf. Remember, I asked you a question at the start of the video. Please go and comment down below how many times you practice, and do you think it's worthwhile for your golf game? I think a lot of us do practice but don't make it worthwhile. We don't actually see those real improvements. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button as well as hitting the bell notification, because when I see you on Thursday, that is a massive giveaway to be announced.